137-98. And oh, by the way, their two biggest playoff wins in playoff history have come in the last two games that they have played. Plus 51 against the Hawks. Thought they could do no better, and then they go plus 39 against the 76ers. Also tie a playoff franchise record for made threes. They were able to knock down 19 in this victory. Welcome inside the NBA Showtime studio, Maria Taylor alongside the Hall of Famers, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony. We heard Jalen Brunson telling Ashley Shamity we had focus, we used our defense to really ignite our offense, and they never looked back, Melo, never turned down the Jets.
Well, the defense was fantastic tonight. New York's defense was fantastic tonight. From the jump, you know, Jalen Brunson got them going. Cat got them going in the second quarter along with Jalen Brunson. And then defensively as a team, they just locked in. They was focused. They looked ready. They looked rested. And they looked like they was waiting for Philly to come in off of that, you know, the 24-hour layover.
Yeah, listen, 48 hours later, you're in MSG.
Apparently, Philadelphia didn't listen to their coach in the locker room. Like, they had 12 o'clock to get that Boston game out of that system and get ready for this game because they wasn't ready.
No.
They wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for Brunson. And the thing is when you have your best player, when he comes out the gates like that and puts on that type of halftime, that sends a message to the team.
Yeah.
And I think they responded in great fashion of backing him up. And this was a great win for the New York Knicks. And I look for Philadelphia to make some adjustments, but bring a little bit more attention to detail in game two.
I mean, you both talked about offense, but their defense held a Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey-led team to 98 points, under 100 points. That says a lot about their defense as much as their offense. So for Philly, you're going to have to find your matchups, and you cannot allow Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, to rest on defense, and then be able to go at you and have 35-plus every night in this series, or you're not going to win the series.
They should be well rested too because they only played 26 minutes.
Spare those legs.
They shot 63 from the field and 51 from
incredible.
Unbelievable.
I just want to remind you guys of one thing. The Philadelphia 76ers lost by 32 and 30 points to the Celtics.
They'll be back.
Won the series in 7. They've been down bad before. They've been down bad before. They know how to get back up off the ground.
This is what the
but the
playoffs
Knicks
is
win
about.
the first round, 137-90. And it certainly feels like Joel Embiid is chasing something. It was a little bit of revenge against the Celtics, came right out and said it. I do not like playing those guys. I remember a couple of years ago, it was 76ers and Knicks in the first round. 76ers went down in 6 games. But obviously they have momentum coming off that Game 7 win. The question is, Melo, how do they maintain it against the Knicks? Everything that we saw from the 76ers last round, what are the things they have to bring into the Garden here tonight?
Well, one thing for sure, they bring in Joel, so Joel is alive. They bring in Maxey. Outside of that, I always say, well, I said this, my X factor for this series, at least for tonight, is Paul George. Him shooting 55% from 3 in the last series against Boston, I don't think he's going to shoot 55% from 3 against the Knicks. At least we hope he don't shoot 55%. But if he comes anywhere near that, then that gives him that 3-man punch, that triangle that Philly's always been looking for. And then now Philly becomes a different type of team.
Their defense must travel. More so, I mean, yes, you're going to score, but you're going to have to find a way to stop the 1-2 punch of Brunson and Cat as well, and neutralizing OG, because even if Brunson is not going, they found something in playing through Cat. They meet the Knicks, and I think he's gotten them going in his vision. He's had 2 triple-doubles in the last 3 the last 3 games, so they now have. You know, and the coach even said, he said, we found something, you know, that works, and we want to continue to ride that, and that's something that is important for the good of the Knicks. So Philly's defense is going to have to stop and neutralize this guy and make him guard. And the easiest way to neutralize the Knicks is by getting that guy in foul trouble, getting him on the bench.
Yeah, and I'll add something else. You talk about the pressure, and you know, and a lot of players going to say there's no pressure, but when your owner comes out and say we have to get to the finals, right? That's pressure, you know, especially when you've been knocked out, you know, 22 or 23, 24, 22, 23, 24. That's a lot of pressure coming into this series against a healthy Philadelphia 76ers. So as a player, you're thinking about that. You know this is a pressurized situation, especially understanding and knowing that quote, from your owner. Like when your owner says that he bringing pressure from top down.
I just think, you know, when we look at the Eastern Conference in the beginning of the season, you know, no Tyrese Maxey, and no Dame. You know, when you have all the injuries, the East was wide open.
No Halliburton.
We were speaking. No Halliburton. With the East, we're talking about it being wide open, and who was those teams that we felt like could get out of the East. I don't think we mentioned 76ers because we just didn't know the health of Joel Embiid, but we did mention Detroit and we mentioned the New York Knicks could be that team. This is their chance. This is their opportunity. And, you know, when you have a veteran core group that they have, they've been here. They understand, you know, what the task is. But you got Joel Embiid, an MVP that you're going up against that's extremely motivated. You have some dogs in Maxey and VJ coming in there, and also Paul George has found himself after coming off of that, you know, 25-game hiatus. This is a really confident group that's coming in with a chip, and it's going to be a physical team. They're going to do with this team. They could play many styles because of their roster, right? If they got it going on the perimeter, they could play that way if it's perimeter oriented. But if they're not knocking down their threes, I've always told you guys, they could play below the free throw line because they have that one guy. And it's, for me, the X factor for the Knicks is going to be Mitchell Robinson. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Cat, to me, I don't think is going to be disciplined enough to guard Joel Embiid for a lot of minutes in this series. So if I'm the Knicks, I'm going big lineup. I'm putting Cat at the 4, getting him off of Embiid, have Mitchell Robinson guard him. And then if Embiid goes out of the game, Mitchell Robinson, you go out of the game, get your rest. And that leaves Cat, right, to be in an advantageous situation on the offensive end, because now you got to put somebody like Paul George on him, right? That has that advantage to be able to play below the free throw line. So for me, it's going to be a chess match, and I want to see how it plays out.
To that point, as far as Philly having somebody that could play below the free throw line, Cat has to play below the free throw line a lot during this series, because you have to put the pressure back on Philadelphia 76ers. You can't just let Joel come down and pick his spots on the court. He's going from the top of the key to mid-post, right block, left block, elbow. You got to limit a lot of those spaces, those areas that Joel wanted to get to on the court.
Well, you brought up a good point, because Joel Embiid did play the Knicks twice this season. In one of those games, Cat fouled out, and he had 10 points and 6 rebounds. Now, the Knicks still won that game, but that could be the difference if he gets into foul trouble. The other thing I want you guys to just keep in mind, Joel Embiid hasn't played more than 6 consecutive games since December 2023. So this is something that they're going to need him for. The consecutive games have got to be played in this series. They've been planning for this one. For this moment right here.
Getting the ice tub, the cryo, whatever you need to do, Embiid.
Come on, Philly got what they asked for, man.